Not a day passed without Iswaran recounting some story packed with adventure, horror and suspense. Whether the story was credible or not, Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the inimitable way in which it was told. Iswaran seemed more than makeup for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarters. One morning, when Mahendra was having breakfast, Iswaran asked, "Can I make something special for dinner tonight, sir? After all, today is an auspicious day. According to tradition, we prepare various delicacies to feed the spirits of our ancestors today, sir." That night, Mahendra enjoyed the most delicious dinner and complimented Iswaran for his culinary skills. He seemed very pleased, but unexpectedly launched into a most garish account involving the supernatural. "You know, sir, this entire factory area we are occupying was once a burial ground," he started. Mahendra was jerked out of his pleasant reverie he had drifted into after the satisfying meal. "I knew on the first day itself when I saw a human skull lying on the path. Even now I come across a number of skulls and bones," Iswaran continued. He went on to narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night. "I'm not easily frightened by these things, sir. I'm a brave fellow. But one horrible ghost of a woman which appears off and on at midnight during the full moon. It is an ugly creature with matted hair and a shriveled face, like a skeleton holding a fetus in his arms." Mahendra shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply. "You are crazy, Iswaran. There are no such things as ghosts or spirits. It's all a figment of your imagination. Get your digestive system examined. And maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense." He left the room and retired for the night, expecting Iswaran to sulk for a couple of days. But the next morning, he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. From that day on, Mahendra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed, trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shapes in the vicinity. But he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away. He had always liked to admire the milk-white landscape on full moon nights. But after hearing Iswaran's story of the female ghost, he avoided looking out of his window altogether when the moon was full. One night, Mahendra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. At first, he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice, but the sound was too guttural for a cat. He resisted the curiosity to look out, lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. But the wailing became louder and less feline. He could not resist the temptation anymore. Lowering himself to the level of the windowsill, he looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. There, not too far away, was a dark cloudy form clutching a bundle. Mahendra broke into a cold sweat and fell back on the pillow, panting. As he gradually recovered from the ghastly experience, he began to reason with himself and finally concluded that it must have been some sort of autosuggestion, some trick that his subconscious had played on him. By the time he had got up in the morning, had a bath and come out to have his breakfast, the horror of the previous night had faded from his memory. Iswaran greeted him at the door with his lunch packet and his bag. Just as Mahendra was stepping out, Iswaran grinned and said, "Sir, remember the other day when I was telling you about the female ghost with a fetus in his arms? You are so angry with me for imagining things. Well, you saw her yourself last night. I came running hearing the sound of mourning that was coming from your room." A chill went down Mahendra's spine. He did not wait for Iswaran to complete his sentence. He hurried away to his office and handed in his papers, resolving to leave the haunted place the very next day. R.K. Lakshman.